so much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to the Night Run. I'm Dion McElrath, but you all should already know that. We've been on the air for 2 seasons. Jesus Christ, we've been. Lots of stuff to talk about here on the program. We have a great show lined up for you. I know we said that a lot, but at least 3 shows are actually good. For the first time in, I believe, 17 years, Britney Spears is off a conservatorship. So for the first time since my childhood, it's Britney, bitch. Also, I don't know how I just told that joke with a straight face, but we'll figure it out. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, so I think I need to lay down some ground rules. Your sweet potato pie should be sweet potato colored. The crust shouldn't be the same color as my elbows. Why? Do not put pecans and raisins in the potato salad. That is a no. That pisses off the Lord. Cheddarlings is absolute disgusting. I don't even know how you people eat those. You guys are gross. Absolutely gross. Come at me in the comments if you want. I have time. Spades will be at the cookout. That's usually how families get split up and uncles get into fights with the cousins, and that'll be a most memorable, if you will, I can't find my words today, Thanksgiving of all. I cannot play spades. I'm not ashamed of myself at all. However, I play a mean game of Uno. You can find out if you want to. I do not play nice. I do not let kids win. I am ruthless when it comes to the game. I'll +4 a 4-year-old in a heartbeat. I have no shame in my game. Also, as Thanksgiving comes around, the Christmas tree lighting in downtown Dayton is coming up, and I'm look very forward, good Lord, to seeing our Christmas tree lit up and decorated, if you will, and seeing the yearly holiday bus. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's always nice to see downtown Dayton draped in beautiful shades of red and green and lights all over the place, all that good stuff. And this is the first year that the arcade, the recently resurrected arcade, the Sleeping Giant, if you will, is back in our midst. So it'll be exciting to see what they do with that for the holiday season. Fantastic show for you tonight. We have a food blogger, world traveler, if you will, a connoisseur of international cuisine. Jordan the Foodie will be here, and also an up-and-coming media mogul, Daniel Thomas, will be here. So if you guys just sit back, relax, we'll be right back.
It costs so little to teach a child to love, and so much to teach him to hate. These simple but profound words from our founder are at the core of each parenting strategy you'll find at boystown.org/parenting.
Teach me respect.
Teach me patience.
Teach me love.
Visit boystown.org/magnet to receive a Teach Love Magnet as a reminder that the change we want to see in our world begins at home, and Boys Town is there to help along the way.
Artemis Center is Dayton's domestic violence resource agency dedicated to serving survivors of intimate partner violence and their children. For over 30 years, Artemis has been providing supportive services to increase safety for survivors in our community. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. We know domestic violence can be confusing and terrifying. We are here to provide you with a personalized safety plan, resources, referrals, and a safe space to process your thoughts and feelings. No matter where you are in your relationship, if you're contemplating leaving or wanting to stay, Artemis is here to help you. We encourage family and friends to call us on the hotline. We understand how difficult it can be watching someone you love navigate their relationship when abuse is involved. Our dedicated and highly trained staff can help support you through a variety of our free, gender-inclusive services, which include our 24-hour hotline, support and education groups, therapy for children who have witnessed violence, therapy for adult survivors, accompaniment to criminal and civil courts, help in obtaining a civil protection order, and providing advocacy to aid in your situation. Remember, you are not alone, and the abuse is not your fault. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call our 24/7 hotline at 461-HELP, 461-4357.
Ladies and gentlemen, I I have my first guest here, Jordan. She is a food blogger, if you will, a very interesting person. We had a great conversation before we started taping. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you born and raised Daytonian, or?
So I actually was born here, but I moved away to DC when I was about 2, and I recently moved here about a year ago, and I got a job working here, so I'm loving it so far.
Loving it so far. So do you miss DC? What was your favorite part about DC?
I do miss DC, I guess all the food options and the going out options, but honestly Dayton is a really nice city. I prefer a smaller to medium-sized city. It's also a very big foodie city. I'm very passionate about food, and so it's honestly a perfect city for me. And thing is, I'm passionate about cooking, but I'm also passionate about eating out and trying out new restaurants and local spots.
Well, this is definitely the place to do it, with so many scratch kitchens and stuff like that around here. So you picked a perfect spot to just move to. DC's insane. That traffic will make you want to move away.
Yes, yes.
I hate it. Hate it. So what really got you into food? Is it just it just came naturally to you, or is this something you've always wanted to do? What really brought you to this point?
Well, I guess I started cooking around when I was like 10, because whenever I'd come home from school, I would immediately turn on the Food Network, and I just really was captivated by all the different recipes people would make. And so I would always bug my mom every time she'd come home from work. I'd be like, "Can we go to the grocery store? Because I want to learn how to make this, or I want to learn how to bake this." And I know, like, she was tired because every day I was asking her to go to the grocery store. So yeah, that's what got me into it. I started cooking since I was 10. Just really developed a passion for it. But really, my passion's eating, so cooking is just like a means to get to that. So yeah, I've always cooked, ever since I was young. And I started a food blog about like 3 or 4 years ago. And it was a combination of things I cooked, but also local restaurants. The problem is I moved around a lot. After I graduated college, I was moving around like every year. So it didn't really make sense for me to post local restaurants, especially because like the people who are viewing it are scattered throughout the U.S. And that was primarily my friends and family. So I decided to create a food Instagram, just a cooking Instagram of things that I like to make, mainly to archive recipes I would make. Because a lot of times when I cook, I modify the recipe. I don't follow it to a T. And I often forget what I did to it. So it was a way of just archiving the recipes I made, and then also kind of showcasing it to my friends, because a lot of them were learning to cook at the time. So I really wanted to focus on like easy, simple to follow recipes that anyone can make, but also give everyone all the different modifications I made. And then I decided to create a local food blog because I recently moved to the city. I noticed that there were other food blogs or food Instagrams showcasing local restaurants. But the issue was they weren't posting as frequently as I liked. I just wanted like kind of to be bombarded with content. But they were great pages. So I just figured, all right, I'll make one as well. And again, that was just a way for me to archive the different places I was going to, the different meals that I ate, because it's just nice to kind of look back at the different pictures I've taken of meals I've eaten. And also it's nice when I'm trying to decide, okay, what do I want to eat tonight? I can just go to my page, look through. I'm like, okay, that was a good meal. Let me go there. And I also wanted to just really highlight local restaurants too. I'm all, Dayton's really big on supporting local businesses, supporting local restaurants, especially with COVID. It's very important to kind of get the word out for different local businesses. So for me, it was just a nice way, one, to archive the recipes that I was making, but also, or not the recipes, archiving the restaurants I was eating at, but also showcasing local restaurants in the area.
So what's one of your favorite dishes? Are you more of a pasta person, or do you like to just all over the place, or do you dabble in world cuisine, or what's your niche? What's your niche when it comes to cooking?
That's a good question. I do really like pasta, but now I think I ate one of the last Italian restaurants I've eaten at. They made like fresh pasta, so now it's kind of like ruined normal pasta for me. Like I try to do my best to find. There's actually some businesses that make fresh pasta that you can buy locally. And I believe they sell it at like Dorothy Lane. I know Grist downtown also sells it. So it's kind of like ruined like pasta for me. If I eat somewhere and the pasta's not made fresh, then I'm like, it's kind of a disappointment. I also really like Thai food too. I like Caribbean food. I like Creole, like Cajun food. So that's stuff I like to cook as well. I really like making Cajun food. I did like a cooking class one time when I went to New Orleans, and so I really developed a passion for that food. It's also hard to make too, so I prefer to eat out when I can, especially also with Caribbean food as well. So that's something that I like try to find when I go out to eat. But I really do embrace all types of food, like just Mexican, Indian. I love everything. So like I said, I'm very passionate about food, very passionate about eating. I'll try anything. And yeah, that's I'll eat anything really.
Do you travel about the world in regards to food, or are you on a food crusade and trying food from different countries, or?
Yeah, I say like when I travel, like my biggest goal, I mean, obviously I want to see the sights, I want to see the history, but like it's really finding the good places to eat. Like that's kind of how I direct my travel. I just try to eat my way through the city. And often I remember where like certain landmarks are. I remember kind of notable things to do in the city just from like the restaurants that are in proximity to it. So yeah, I definitely travel a lot, and like I said, food is a priority when I go out. But it's also nice too because I make memories, and whenever I hear a friend that's also traveling to the same place, I like automatically remember exactly where I ate, where it is, and I'm like, this is where you need to go. This is where you need to what you need to order. So yeah, I'm a big foodie, but I'm also a big traveler as well. So I feel like it goes hand in hand because you can really immerse yourself in a culture just by trying their food. So that's why it's also important to me to kind of find the good restaurants, and also I'm not just like going to bougie restaurants. Like I love finding the hole in the walls because that's really the best food.
It's always the sketchiest spots
It
that
is,
have the best.
yeah. Like if I'm not like fearing for my life, I don't want to eat there.
Bingo. If they don't have bulletproof glass at the register,
Exactly.
it's not good.
Exactly.
But what's your so far? What's been the favorite place you visited where the food was just this is the move right here. This is the move right here.
I would have to say, it's really hard. I went to Spain like right before
Really?
the pandemic hit, and what I've been told, Spanish food isn't like that great. But the thing is that in Spain, I went to Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia when I was there, and the population is just so diverse. So you can find really like any type of food you want. You can find Mexican food, you can find Dominican food. And yeah, when I went there, I went to this like Peruvian place that was just like out of this world good. And the thing is like too, the restaurants aren't that expensive in Spain as well. So like that was like, music to my ears because I could eat as much as I wanted. So yeah, I like Spain because I think one of my favorite like kind of weird meats I like to eat is octopus. And you can get that pretty easily there. And like, because if you want to get it here, it's like pretty expensive. So everywhere we went, I was like, is there octopus on the menu? I want it. So I would say the food there was really good. Also, I went to Prague a few years back in like 2016. And I was studying abroad at the time. So that's why it was so easy for me to go to all these places. But I didn't think I would like Central or like Eastern European food, but it's really good. It's very like meat and potatoes kind of food, and typically I steer away from that just because growing up that's what my parents like to eat, and so that's what we ate pretty much. So I didn't and I didn't really try different like cultural foods until I got to college. That was the first time I tried Indian food. That was the first time I tried Thai food, just because like my dad wasn't eating that. So and I try to push him a little bit more to try new things. So yeah, I forgot the question. But oh yeah, Prague. So yeah, it was very like meat and potatoes, but it was just really, really good flavors, hearty meals. Wasn't that expensive. So I guess it's kind of linked to it's a correlation between how cheap the food can be, but also like the quality of the food. So those are places where the food wasn't that expensive and it was just really, really good and flavorful.
It's okay. I forget the question all the time.
I was going off on all these tangents, and I was like,
that's how television works. Honest to God, I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Mind you, we've been doing this for 2 seasons. I still don't know what the hell's going on here. But I'm also a somewhat big food person. I still like to get out there. I'm still a little sketchy about some things because I'm trying to, break out of that norm from what we grew up as. But we have a lot in common. We're about a year and some change apart. Are you the only child by any chance?
No, I have an older sister who's 4 years older than me.
Must be nice to come from a family of 5.
Oh, you have a family of 5?
Family
Okay,
of 5.
so 2 siblings?
I am the only boy. I have 4 sisters.
Oh.
Even the dog's a female.
Oh, so you have 4 siblings, and they're all girls. Okay.
All girls.
Wow.
Even the dog.
And the dog.
And the dog. I hate it here. I'm kidding. I love you guys. But what did you get your degree in?
Mechanical engineering. So yeah, but right now I work as a systems engineer at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So that's what I moved here for about a year ago, and I'm really loving it.
So you plan on staying here for quite some time, or
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
going with the flow? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Typically, like I said, I told you I move around a lot, but it was usually just because of a job. But I first lived in Pittsburgh after I graduated, was there for a year. Then they sent me up to upstate New York, and that was an interesting place to live. And I was there for another year, and then I ended up getting the job here. So I plan to keep this job and stay for, I don't know exactly what the time limit is.
I mean, you're young, so you have nothing but time. So.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm happy here. I really like Dayton, so I don't really see a need to move anytime soon.
So where can we find you on the internet in regards to what you post, what you blog? Because we talked before the show, and you actually have family from all international backgrounds. So I want to delve into that. Does that influence your liking of different international types of food by any chance? Or are you bilingual? That's the million-dollar question I'm trying to get to. Are you multilinguistic, or that's the word I want to use? I highly doubt that's the word I want to use, but we're going to go with it.
No, I wish I was, and it's kind of a shame. I just speak English, but my family's from St. Martin, and they speak all kinds of languages. I think they speak like 4 or 5. And
overachievers.
I know. And I remember when I was talking to them one time, I asked, how many languages do you speak? And they were like kind of listing off all the languages. And they were like, well, how many do you? And I was like, just English. And one language they speak is Dutch. They live on the Dutch side of the island. And they're like, well, you must learn Dutch. So, it would be nice to learn that one day. I know a little bit of Spanish too. At some point I was doing a lot of Duolingo and trying to learn that. And then I lived in France for 4 months too. So I knew a little bit at the time, but I really could not tell you anything now. But yeah, I kind of dabble in like a few other languages, but I don't actually speak any. So unfortunately, no. But as far as like my influence on international food, like I said, like growing up, I didn't really have any exposure to any kind of food other than meat and potatoes, chicken, or just like, American food. And so I really kind of developed a curiosity for it once I got to college. And especially I went to Duke University, and it's located in Durham, North Carolina. And at the time it was voted the foodiest small city in America. So you could find all types of cuisine there. It was just very, very diverse in terms of the food that was there. So I was just taking every opportunity I could to eat as many restaurants as I could, try different meals and restaurants when I was there. So I think that's what really kind of helped develop my curiosity, because once I tried something new, I was like, oh, this is good.
It just opened the door.
Yeah, it really did. So I think they had one of these pre-orientation programs. If you're like a freshman coming in, we usually got in a week before the rest of the school, and they had this tour you could sign up. It was a food tour of the city, and so I signed up for that, and we went to like a German place. I think we went to a Mexican place, went to like a Lebanese food place. So we just kind of were bopping around different restaurants and got like a little sample of everything. And like I think that was my first like real exposure to different cultural cuisines. So that's kind of what influenced me. Influences like kind of like my international taste for food. But like I said, I've always been a big fan of food. I've always loved cooking, and that's just been a big part of my life.
But you hate the dishes part.
Oh yes.
Everyone hates the dishes.
I despise dishes. But what's nice is actually, so I've made some friends since I've been here, and one of my friends, V, she, I always like invite her over whenever I'm cooking or baking something. I usually the other day I helped her. I taught her how to make bagels. But she like really loves to clean, and she's like one of those people, like she gets the itch if there's something out of place, like she needs to put it back.
Oh, so then this works out.
Yeah, so she actually been doing, every time she comes to my house and we make something, she does my dishes for me. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to do that. Like, oh my God, stop. And she's like, oh no, that's fine. And I'm like, thank God. And then she's done it so much at this point, she knows where everything goes. So I don't even have to tell her, like she just knows what to do. And she just does it, and or like I'll go to the bathroom if I have like a bunch of friends over. By the time I come back, they've cleaned up everything. They leave my house like cleaner than when they came there. So I like to host things at my or events at my house.
To capitalize on a good situation there.
Yes, exactly. So I have great friends. They don't have to do that at all, but it's just really nice to have people that want to clean up afterwards.
Yeah,
so.
You're like, oh my God, you don't have to do that. Also, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what's on your to-do list in regards to what's the next country you want to visit, the next cuisine you want to try? What's on the bucket list? What's your bucket list?
Well, work with Australians, and so hopefully soon, hopefully next year, I'll be able to get to go to Australia. And I would like to also, I think because the flight connects through like Japan, so I'm hoping to kind of take some time off after I do my job like in Australia. I want to be able to try Australian food, which apparently kangaroo is very popular there, and it's very close to venison.
I didn't know people ate those.
Yeah,
you learn something new every day.
It's kind of like deer in this country, and apparently it tastes similar too. And I actually really like deer, so I'm excited to try kangaroo when I go there. But I also want to go to Japan and get some Japanese sushi. Although I feel like it might ruin it for me because I actually had a friend who also moved here from Japan. She's in the Air Force, and she now she can't have sushi from Dayton, Ohio. If anyone knows any good sushi places here, let me know. But it's kind of like she's had such good quality sushi, and Japanese food is kind of hard to find something that's up to par once you've
Once
been
you have
to that
the real
country.
thing, I 100% get that. People eat kangaroo.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let you
folks,
know.
you have found out from the source that kangaroo jack is no longer safe. Never would have thought. And it tastes like, what a great time to be alive. So where can we find your blog? Where can we keep up with you? You live a fast-paced life. So where can we keep up with you on all your new discoveries in regards to food?
Sure. So my local Dayton Instagram page is called Gem City Foodie, and that's foodie spelled Foodie. And yeah, just search that and you'll find me there. If you want to find my cooking page, it's Jordan, JORDAN _the foodie, and the foodie is spelled the same way. So if you want some quick, I make videos and I also just make posts of and pictures of things I make. So if you want something like kind of learn how to make something quickly, stop on over to that page too.
So could we expect maybe a book of some sort of everything, all your recipes you've discovered? Could we expect that in the future?
It's definitely a goal of mine to make a cookbook one day.
Go for the whole Rachel Ray experience.
Yeah, yeah. And actually right now, I've actually been developing recipes a lot because normally I'll just, find something off of Pinterest or just find something from Instagram or like TikTok to make. But I make so many modifications. Like whatever I make, like if I want to make something, I will look up like 3 or 4 different recipes and I try to like combine elements from all of them and then I'll add my own twist. And I feel like at that point I can say, maybe it's my recipe. I don't know
Where's that line?
Yeah, where's that line?
Where's that line?
Like when does it become plagiarism? I don't know. So I do. There are some recipes I've like completely created on my own. So maybe once I build up enough, then maybe I'll do a cookbook or I don't know, a series of like videos or something I can post. I don't know. That's definitely a goal of mine. So we'll see.
Well, by all means, please bring it by here whenever you do.
Of course.
I would love to have a copy.
Oh, you got it. You got it for free too. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Well, it's been such a great pleasure having you here. By all means, please stop by anytime. I would love to hear more of your food adventures. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's
You're
been
very
great.
welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Jordan, everybody, Jordan the foodie.
Not a lot of people even understand what lupus is.
A lot of the battles that we're dealing with are internal.
And in some cases can be fatal.
And my best friend passed away when we were 15. Barely can get dinner on the table for my son.
Very, very traumatizing to my life.
Stiffness in my hands. It'll be hard for me to hold a pencil or a writing utensil.
I can't hold not even a part-time job.
The fatigue is unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
Each day I'm still fighting. Let's do the best we can with it.
It costs so little to teach a child to love, and so much to teach him to hate. These simple but profound words from our founder are at the core of each parenting strategy you'll find at boystown.org/parenting.
Teach me respect.
Teach me patience.
Teach me love.
Visit boystown.org/magnet to receive a Teach Love magnet as a reminder that the change we want to see in our world begins at home, and Boys Town is there to help along the way.
Welcome back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting here at the desk is my good friend and yours, Daniel. Daniel, so glad to have you on the show. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
So tell us a little bit about you. I know we chatted a little bit before we started the show. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, well, my name's Dan Thomas, just like he said. I'm the president and CEO of Heartland Brands, and we own Heartland Creative Studios and Heartland Marketing. Heartland Creative Studios is a professional music recording studio that's located right here in downtown Dayton, Ohio. We've recorded over 150 clients this year. We're known as one of the biggest music studios in the area as far as quality and vibe and having a really great professional team. And then Heartland Marketing, we develop marketing solutions for recording artists, small businesses, campaigns and movements, and folks that have a really, really great idea, entrepreneurs, inventors, things like that.
So I take it, we also talked before the show, we already have something in common. You just so happen to be in production as well.
Yes, sir.
Which is absolutely crazy because it couldn't happen at a more perfect time that you come from, you know, the music industry and the marketing industry, and I do this.
Yeah.
But this is what, this couldn't be more impeccable timing.
Yeah.
But always very glad to have you here.
Absolutely, man.
If you know, of course, obviously do, production, it's very interesting to watch a program, whether it be music or an artist or a television program like us, and you watch the arc of where it started versus how it's going.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it all, and only certain people would understand that. And and I can tell you're a man of my same kind of personality where you pour everything into your production and whatnot.
Absolutely, yeah.
So on what wide of a spectrum do you, does your talents, so to speak, how broad is it? What all do you dabble in? What was your favorite thing to do? What really got you started in the production business?
I think those of us that are creative professionals, and especially when you're a creative professional in the production area of things, you learn that it's not really about what's the range of what you do. It's about what do you want to focus on so that you can give an effective product and an effective service for your clients. So for us, it's about paying attention and really diving deep into the things we're really good at. And some of the things that we're really good at is, number one, on the music production side, it's helping artists get a really good sound with clarity and with, I would say, character. Having a sound that sounds clear so that folks' voices sound good, but also having a song that has some character, that has that bass in it, and that has those elements that everyone likes to hear. When it comes to marketing, we believe that digital advertising is one of the #1 platforms that folks can use to get their message out. So we focus heavily on that at Heartland Marketing, on helping clients develop strategies for mass communication and getting the word out in a way that's both effective and efficient, but also helps them save dollars as well.
So what really got you into it? Like, where did it start? Like, this is what I want to do.
Well, when it comes to music production, you know, I've been around music my entire life. My Aunt Linda took me to piano lessons and forced me to play in church at a very, very young age, and I really enjoyed it. I loved playing piano. I loved playing instruments. I was also a classically trained clarinetist growing up in high school, and really thrived in that environment as well. And so it's always been something that no matter where I went, whether I was graduating college or whether I was working on Obama's re-election campaign, there was always music. Music has always just been a part of my life. It's always just been something that I have known would be a part of what I do. Marketing has became, it started off as more of a necessity in understanding. I had my early years after college, I had began a track, and I still do it, in managing political campaigns and being a political organizer. And I actually got my start in doing that with the Obama campaign in 2012. I actually moved to Carolina to help lead some of those organizing efforts out there. And with that, I learned that learning marketing, understanding digital marketing and communications was critical to me being able to help people that I care about get their message out. And that's where I think I got some of my, motivation to really dive deep in a way that has made me a professional. And now I run a marketing firm, and we work with folks across the country. We work with stars, we work with MMCA, we've worked with the SEIU, we've worked with presidential campaigns, statewide campaigns, local, on various levels to help folks get the word out about their movement, get folks registered to vote, and things like that.
So what has been your favorite project thus far?
Oh man, my favorite project that I've ever worked on from a marketing perspective is a project you might have heard of. It's called the Gym City Market.
Yes.
Gym City Market, I was one of the original team members when that project first came along. And I built the original website and created the original marketing materials to get that project off the ground. And every single time I drive down Salem, you know, I'm just proud to see how well the community came together to solve a problem. And there's just a huge, immense sense of pride in being a part of that. You know, even if I was just a small part, there's been hundreds of people who, I mean, if not thousands of people who've came together to make that thing possible. Organizations, businesses, community leaders. And so that project in particular, you know, it's not a national campaign, right? It's not something like big, but it's a homegrown thing where you can really say, wow, that's really helping people, and I'm really proud of it.
I can relate to that 100%.
Absolutely.
I can relate to that. That's how I feel about this. That's how I feel about this.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've built something great here, and you've done something that not many people have done, in keeping the show open during the pandemic, and I think that's great, you know. That's something you should be proud of.
I am very proud of it.
Yeah, you should be proud of that cup. That's a nice cup.
You know what? I designed this at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And you know, it has our logo on the front, and I love that because we probably have the most unique logo out there, in case you guys wouldn't know. You've been watching me for 2 seasons. But on the back, it's a photo of downtown Dayton, which is my favorite at Dean's Point.
Oh my God, let me see.
If you guys can see it, what camera am I looking at? Am I looking at that one? Okay, I'm looking at that one.
Yeah, which one is it?
Yeah, this one right here. I told you, I've been doing this for 2 years and I still don't know what I'm doing. But if you look closely, you can see downtown Deeds Point at night, which is probably one of my favorite places in the city.
Yeah.
I would take this show anywhere else. I really wouldn't. Dayton is home.
Right.
Dayton is always home. We haven't really had a big talk show host here since Donahue, and that was long before your time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it just gives me a great sense of pride that I'm being talked about, and there's fellow Daytonians watching me. Because you can go watch the big networks, you can go watch someone else, but you choose to watch this. And that's a tremendous sense of pride to me that most people wouldn't understand unless you actually do it. There's so much behind the scenes that goes into doing this. Like, this is I tell people, this is the easiest part of the job. Because there's the behind it, there's the camera work, there's writing. Believe it or not, this show's not scripted.
Well,
not even the monologue.
I didn't know that. I didn't get a script.
We don't do it.
Well, heck,
I feel like, awesome. You know, honestly, it gives you that more bona fide, authentic feel to it.
Yeah. You know, I don't feel like you need a script. I feel like you know, this is something that you're naturally just talented to do. So I never at any point in the whole time I've been here have been wondering where's your script at, because you've just been on point the whole time.
You know what? We just wing it.
Yes, sir. Well, you know.
I think the most script I used to use was just bullet points for my monologue. All I needed to remember was what I was talking about. We were off to the races. It was even better when I had my band, because they would give that wonderful feedback.
We're going to get that band back in here.
Oh, absolutely. They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. They're out there making fantastic music and whatnot. You may have worked with some of them. Maybe.
Yeah.
But, that would be insane. But, you know, this is a small town, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But the fact that you work in marketing, and that... Why does both of our genres go hand in hand? That's insane. Like that. Oh, yeah. This is perfect chemistry. Like, who would have thought?
Yeah, man.
But I love what I do, and I can tell you do. I pour everything into me. There's been a lot of late nights. This show stresses me out in a good way.
Right.
Because I'm never satisfied. Never satisfied. I'm like, oh, it's a great show. Could have been better. This is my baby. This is my baby.
Yeah. That's great, man. Yeah, I think it's only up from here. You know, staying focused and doing something that you love is one of the most important things in life.
It gives me a lot of pride. Absolutely. Not to mention, I'm the youngest talk show host out there right now that I know of. I'm the youngest one. I started the show at 23. I'll be 24 Wednesday.
Wow, congrats. Wow, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Only 24, man. I would have paid you was way older than that, for sure.
Well, you know,
in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way, not like it's not like you're like
we
going great.
Black don't crack. But,
right, so don't.
But it's a whole. I mean, this is something I knew I wanted to do because, kids want to go play for the NFL or they want to go be the next LeBron James. I had no desire to do I want to be like Letterman. That's what I want to do. So one day I just said, full send or no send. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do a talk show. Now, the early days was rough. It was rough. But like any talk show, once you get it off the ground, it's fine. We've evolved. Things have changed. The layout of the room has changed. My desk used to be there.
Oh, okay.
I used to be there. I still walk out of the curtain when I do the monologue. So I still do that. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the show because I get to have that experience now. Like, this is me. This is my story, and I get to tell it. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in a documentary at Hart Mercantile on the Shelf or something if someone decides to film it. I'll have a documentary here in about 10 years. My big goal is to do this show for 15 years. I'm going to try and do it for 15 years.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing more. I look forward to you growing it. And, man, I'm really proud of you, for sure.
There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're looking at possibly, I have a guest host now. So now that opens up a whole new possibility. I know one of the things that I've kicked off the table, I wonder how good I would be at hosting a game show.
You know what? You could integrate games into the show.
We tried that and it worked, and I don't know why we haven't done it since. And I think it's because of COVID. Because we tried Family Feud here. Yeah, it went perfectly. That was probably the funniest episode I've ever had.
Yeah, you should do that.
And then we just stopped, and I don't know why.
Oh my goodness!
And I felt we got to try that again next season.
Yeah, you have to.
And next season starts in February.
I mean, you could get like a basketball hoop in here. We could even.
I'm terrible at basketball. I was a track
and field
across country.
Me too.
But you know what? I don't care.
That makes great TV.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think we tried a segment. I don't know why it didn't get off the ground because it was called Dion Does It, and my drummer at the time, I tried playing the drums, and people liked that, and I'm like, all right, let's do this again. And then it kind of just fell off to the back burner, and it fell off the wayside. I'm like, why didn't we do this again?
Hey, when you tried playing the drums, wasn't it interesting how difficult the drums are?
Oh my God!
When you see someone playing the drums, you just think they're just
going at it. And then I tried. I'm like, I look.
You're like, wait a minute. The right arm is doing something different than the left arm, and the feet.
I'm like, I don't. What is happening? I'm like, obviously you're very good at what you do.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that could be. We're looking at next season doing a lot of remotes, featuring small businesses, all that good stuff. Possibly changing venues as to where we tape. I might get a new desk. I don't know. I kind of like this one.
It's a nice desk.
I like this desk. It fits me.
Yeah.
But I think the big goal is either to get picked up by the, WRCX Channel 40, Ross Communications. I think the studio's off of Catalpa.
Oh, okay.
But in the Five Oaks area.
Yeah.
That's the big goal. Some days to be picked up by another network. A bigger studio. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But overall, I enjoy it. I look forward to collaborating with you on whatever projects that comes to mind.
Yeah,
obviously,
for sure.
There's quite a big year starting here.
We'll definitely have to get lunch or something one day.
Absolutely.
Talk a little more.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But can't say how proud I am of you to see how successful you are.
Yeah, thanks.
And I wish I would have met you sooner.
For sure.
Because this town is too small. I don't see how we haven't met before.
Yeah.
I'm like, where have you been?
I honestly, the last 3 years here in Dayton, I honestly haven't really gone out much or anything. I've been very, very much focused on building this brand. I was producing at Encore Studios for about 1.5 years, and just getting my feet wet and learning under Grammy-nominated producers like Peanut Frost, who's worked with Jill Scott, Boyz II Men. He plays with the Zap Band now. Being a part of a music community that's really invigorated what I do and helped me grow has really been my main focus, and just that's all I've been doing. I spent very little time going out or going to clubs.
I don't do much of that.
I don't do much of that at all. I go work at the studio, then I go to my other office and work on marketing stuff, and then I hang out with my girlfriend. That's pretty much it.
I think we're truly blessed to live in a city like this.
Right.
It's just so rich in music, period. Yeah. We couldn't live in a better place for this. Mm-hmm. Considering the fact that we live amongst people like surviving members of the Ohio Players, Lakeside, Zap and Roger.
Yeah.
I went to school with one of Roger Troutman's granddaughter. Maya Troutman, that's her name. Went to school with her. It took me 2 seasons to remember her name, and finally, thank God.
I thought you just had a war flashback.
Oh man, I've been trying to remember that since I started the show. Yeah, I went to school with one of his granddaughters.
Yeah, I've worked with Thomas. he's cool. You know, Thomas Troutman. He's a very hardworking guy, and yeah, I think the Troutman family has had a really good influence on the music and entertainment community in the city. For sure.
It's insane. Like
Yeah.
I love Dayton. Will always be funky to me. I love this city.
Yeah.
I'll never leave it. I don't care. But I feel like having your brand in this city and doing what you do,
Right.
and showing the world what Dayton has to offer in regards to music, because we are the home of funk. I don't care what anyone says. That's not up for debate at all.
No.
But
no, I mean, I've gone across the country working with artists, and I have worked with folks from everywhere, honestly. And I will say that Dayton has a very talented music industry, period. And I mean industry. I mean from the producers to rappers, singers, to media professionals. It's very, very talented. What we lack really is what I would call air support, which is like people who are really effective at business, having like media channels set up to really get people out there, and then the just the apparatus of having like a music community where there's shows and awards and things like that. Those are things that like myself and my partners are working on to kind of create the atmosphere that we think artists need to be successful. But the other big part of that, though, is the website and marketing piece. And at Heartland Marketing, we've recently launched what we call the Custom Artist Website Plan, where for a monthly fee, like for instance, a website's going to cost you about $2,000.
right.
You know, when it's all said and done, if you get it designed, you get it hosted, all the stuff that you need on it. And we understand that what artists need is a place to sell their merch, a place to have more streams on their music.
Simple but effective, so to speak.
Yeah, and a simple, effective thing that's not just a stupid link in bio or not some DistroKid hyperlink, that really tells their story so that they can sell their music and make their art sustainable. So what we've done is launched a program that for only $50 a month, we're going to give you all of that. We're going to give you a website. We're going to give you a digital streaming hub. We're going to help you build content. We're going to help you actually get your stuff out there, sell shirts, do whatever you need to do. And it's a flat price. They sign up online, and they get it 2 days later. So that's one thing we've been pushing hard. We've got a lot of folks signed up so far. We're growing that. I want folks to hit us up at heartland.marketing. Our website is heartland.marketing to learn more about that and to get involved in that program if you're an artist or area creative professional.
You know, I think about that a lot in regards to what the community needs in regards to music and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that in the big leagues, when a band is up and coming, they come on the Tonight Show or the Late Show, and that's that platform that gets them out there. And for quite some time, that platform has been missing. And that's another thing that I've been aiming to create.
Yeah.
Especially with my house band, I give them a place to do, this is your show. I just compliment you. This is about you.
Right.
And that's something I want to do going forward, but it's just such a barrier to where there's a lot of bands that don't know about me. There's a lot of bands that I don't know a lot about.
Right.
So that's where it all boils to a head. But now that we've gotten our footing and we're somewhat well established in this community, and hopefully we catch on quite a bit more and take over Montgomery County.
Yeah.
But that's something that we're looking to do, is to have more musical guests here. I mean, we're not NBC, we're not CBS,
right.
But at the same time, we have reach. I want to give you a platform to express yourself. I already have my platform.
Right.
This isn't about me. This is not about me at all.
Right.
At this point, this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
I get camera time all. I'm tired of looking at myself anyway. But
right. No, I agree with you. I think that you're exactly right, and I think it's a blessing that we have folks like you in our city and in the industry. And I hope you do exactly what you just said you're going to do, and I hope that you continue to grow it and continue to reach out to more artists. There are a ton of artists in the city who would blow this studio down with their music because they're that good, who are ready to perform and who are ready to put themselves out there. It's just, again, about having folks like you that are willing to build those opportunities and to follow through on those opportunities. So we need you. We need more people like you. And I definitely, you know, if you need anything, you need any help, you're welcome to call me. You have my number, and you know how to find me on Instagram.
I'm determined to be the first talk show host you've worked with. That's my goal. That is my goal.
Well, here we go.
Well, here we go. We're already off to a great start.
Here we go.
But that music awards show locally, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
And if you ever decide to get that off the ground,
that's going down.
If you ever needed a host for it,
we've actually recently started planning it. It's the Heartland Music Awards. I think it speaks for itself. You know, it's going to encompass the talent from the Midwest, and I will definitely involve you. Yeah, we'll give you.
That'd be pretty cool to host my first event,
award
show event. That'd be pretty cool. But if you ever need a host for anything,
for sure. Yeah, no, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for folks like you to participate in that. We should talk.
It's kind of sad at the fact that there's so little of us around here, and now I'm the only one. It hurts. I also know another young woman. Her name is Bree McGee. She hosts a show on this network as well called Baby Biscuit Town. It's like a variety show, kind of a Carol Burnett, Amber Ruffin kind of thing. Highly suggest you check that out. She's phenomenal. She does a great program here. But other than that, her and I were, two diamonds in the rough. We work together quite a bit. She's helped me out on the show quite a bit. And I highly suggest you guys check her out. I look forward to whatever this wonderful business partnership brings us.
For sure, man.
I didn't expect this to go that well at all, but apparently I'm hosting an award show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how it goes.
Did you hear me sign yourself up?
Daniel Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
By all means, come back anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
All right, you guys, you know what to do. We'll be right back.
Han tomado por asalto las playas y liberado países. Protegido a los débiles y vencido a los fuertes. Mostrando su valentía y compasión. Han izado nuestra bandera y nuestras esperanzas. Por generaciones han asegurado que tengamos un país al que servir. Ellos son los Marines.
Welcome back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to share some info before I go any further with the show. Daniel Thomas, of course, he was just here. His studio, you can find it online at heartlandcreativestudios.com or at the address heartland.marketing. So in case you got a rap track or any type of song or any creative material whatsoever, get with him. He's the best. So before I wrap this up here, as you know, I've been getting quite a few of these already, and I really appreciate it. I truly, truly do. I'll be 24 on the 18th, so yay. We're almost a quarter century, folks. We're still here. I did not plan ahead this far, so it's great that we're still here. I do want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for the wishes of good health and fortune as I approach the age of 24. Thank you very much. It means a lot. It truly does. I've come a long way. Year number 23 was a learning experience within itself. Learned a lot. Fell and scraped my knee a little bit. Got a little ghetto. Made some big decisions, made some big career choices, some big life choices that worked out for the best. And I'm thankful for what the wisdom that I gained from those experiences, whether it be learning it the hard way or learning it on my own. They worked out for me. As you get older, you start to appreciate the simple things in life, if you will. And it truly does put everything into perspective for me as to what's really important and what we all should really be worried about. And so, especially when there's people that don't make it to 24 or 23 for that matter, I am truly fortunate enough to be in good health and here to celebrate the number 24. So to all of you that sent birthday wishes, I thank you so very much. I truly do. From the bottom of my heart, you guys are absolute saints, and I thank you. Also, another thing I wanted to touch on, it's a little bit different for me this year because usually I'm a lot more excited about it, but at the end of October, going into November, I lost a very dear friend of mine. His name was Justin T. Brannon. He and I have been friends since I was the age of 19, if I'm not mistaken. Justin Brannon, he was 38. He was known by many names, JB, Justin, Brannon, Big Black, if you will. That was his CB handle. That man could operate equipment. Justin Brannon taught me what it was like to be genuinely cared about from a brother to another. And I was very blessed, along with all of us, to have him in our lives, and has touched my lives in many ways that I can't count. I don't have enough hands, fingers, or short-term memory for it. It was a shell shock. It really is. It was a shell shock, which is part of the reason why I grew my mustache out, my hair out, in support of No Shave November, so we can generate conversations about men's health, because that's something we need to talk about. And the last message I sent to him was letting him know that he was loved and that I cared about him. But of course, I swore a lot more, but I won't say that on TV. Even though it's my show, I can do what I want. But Justin Brannon was an amazing brother. He was an amazing friend. I could come to him with anything, and he would give me honest to God truth, whether it was one I wanted to hear or not. He was going to tell me what I needed to hear. And I thank him for it. I was truly blessed to have him in my life. And a reason why I have such a strong bond with him is when I found out that I was expecting my daughter, my sweet Nova, who's 2 now. He was the first person I told. And that's why it hits different. And the way I look at it, I've dealt with quite a bit of death over the course of 23, going on 24 years. And it gets easier as time goes on, because now you know that they're at peace, and that's soul quelling, if you will. He was a great man. He really was. You will be terribly, terribly missed. I promise to God you will. And most importantly, thank you for being that friend. You know, one thing I always say in life is it's not really about the quantity of friends you have, it's about the quality. And if you have a solid circle of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends, consider yourself infinitely wealthy, because a lot of people don't know what it's like to have a true friend in their corner. And I lost that. And he's gone, but he won't be forgotten. So to the Brannon family, his mother Lisa and his brother Quentin, your thoughts and prayers from all of us here at the Night Run and myself go out to you. Your son was a saint. He truly was. He was an amazing man. And I was privileged to know him. And to Justin, even though they probably don't have cable up there, thank you for being my friend. I can never repay you for that. That's a gift that will never have an infinite price tag on, that I really can't put numbers on. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you so much. I really mean that. As you know, next month is December, which is Merry Chrysler, or Christmas, or Hanukkah, or whatever it is that you celebrate. And as you know, that's the end of our season. And I want to kind of spell some things out for you before we go, and what to expect in a new season coming next year, which will be season 3. Can you believe it? Season 3. There has been talks here about me exploring other ventures, and you're probably wondering, am I going to leave the show? Not at all. This is my brainchild. This is my show. However, recently I embarked on a search, if you will, to recruit some new talent in regards to, I don't know, a guest host, because my ego's not that big and I don't feel threatened by the presence of a guest host. I'm not Jay Leno or other people I know. So I do have a guest host, and I'm looking to not necessarily take a step back and leave the show, but you will be seeing him from time to time in this chair. His name is Drew Kirk. It's something he always wanted to do. He's a fantastic guy. I think you'll like him. He's an amazing man. He's going to do just fine here, and I wish him all the best. Next season will start in February, so I'll be taking January off. The staff here will be going behind the scenes or going over past episodes, seeing what works, what doesn't. Our format will not change. We will still have the desk, and we'll still be an hour long, or lately until we go back on network television again. We've been an hour 30 minutes, so it's 1 hour and 90 minutes worth of show. That's one hell of a task. But you may see a guest host from time to time. Musical guests will be a thing again. I was just in talks about that, so that will be a thing again. There could be a possibility that we are taping somewhere different. It may happen, may not, I don't know yet, but we are working on it. It's gonna be pretty great. There has been talks of a game show that I may be or may not be creating. I'm not gonna speculate too much, but that is also in the works. Also expect next season we'll do a lot of remotes, so it won't be majority of our time spent in the studio. We will be doing remotes. We've been wanting to do that for a long time, so that will be a thing. And most importantly, I just want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Give me ideas. I'm always open to ideas. So from all of us here at the Night Run, I'm Dion McElrath. Good night, everybody.